Welcome to the Marvel United Breakout campaign, Mission 2, Charge. A couple blocks south of the New York Police Department, Rhino can be found circling the Imperial Bank, bags of cash in his enormous fists. "Stay out of my way, or Rhino moves through you," he says in a thick Russian accent. An older security guard flies across the street, getting winded by Rhino's charge as the Beast Man starts fleeing the scene. Cars split in half as Rhino's speed starts to peak. Your team of heroes start to close in on Rhino, but he turns his momentum towards the group of you. You throw everything you have at him, but it just makes him angrier and faster. He breaks Spider-Man webs like a bird breaking from its shell. You brace for impact, closing your eyes, frozen in fear. But the unexpected happens. Out of nowhere, a bazooka explosion sends the Rhino flying. On the bank's rooftop, clouded in smoke and trenchcoat, the Punisher appears. Now, you've got to fight. So here's the board setup. We have a mixture of the normal locations and the Spider-Man expansion locations. So Shield Helicarrier, Central Park, New York Cops, the Queens, Midtown High and Brooklyn Bridge. Rhino starting in Brooklyn Bridge with the little Avengers team up in the Helicarrier just there. In terms of his threats, we have no cover, which is heroes ending their turn in this location get one crisis token, which is not good. And then open field, which is heroes that take damage in this location also get one crisis token. So Rhino is all about crisis, it seems. I've actually not played against Rhino, so this is going to be very, very interesting because it looks quite tough, really. But we have split the teams up, and so as you see, we got Iron Man and Spider-Man along with Punisher, who comes with this mission. So just the three heroes, while the other heroes go off and do something else. This is Rhino's sheet though, because we've got three heroes, he's only got 8 health. In terms of his overflow, if no thug or civilian can be added to the location, you draw a master plan card and add it face down to the storyline. For his special rules, when a hero is KO'd, Rhino doesn't activate his BAM, instead you give the hero one crisis token. And this is the kicker right here. If a hero has any crisis tokens, they must play their next card face down. So you can use the previous hero's card, but your card must go face down. But then you do discard all your crisis tokens. So if you've got, say, 2 crisis tokens or 3, for instance, then you can just discard everything. So it is a way of getting rid of the crisis because there's no way of getting rid of crisis on the board itself. And then for a BAM, this is very, very tasty. Deal damage to each hero in Rhino's location equal to the number of locations he entered this turn. Then move all damaged heroes one location clockwise. So, yeah, if he has a 5 card with a BAM, which I think he has got, I'm not sure, I haven't properly looked at his cards. But let's say he has a 5 card with a BAM, then he'd move 5 BAM, and if you're in that location, you take 5 damage, you're gone. So we need to be very careful with old Rhino, I feel. Anyway, let's begin with Rhino moving 2 and then going for a BAM. So it doesn't hurt no one, which is good. And it gets rid of a BAM card, but it does drop 3 thugs. So Rhino moves 2, which puts him there. He BAMs, but obviously does nothing. That would have been 2 damage if someone had been there. And I've just placed the thugs already on the locations. Iron Man is up first, and he's going to play this double heroic card right here, which means he places his 2 heroics on the no cover, but he has taken a crisis, so he's going to be knackered for next turn. But I do feel as though we need to try and get rid of the no cover ones as fast as possible, really. Spider-Man gets a move and a heroic along with Iron Man's 2 heroic cards. So Spider-Man just ends up moving to Central Park, and he clears the no cover one there with all 3 heroics. So he doesn't end up taking crisis at the end of his turn. Punisher uses a double punch action, so also gets Spider-Man's move and heroic also. So the first thing Punisher does, he punches the 2 thugs in his location. He then uses the heroic to clear the no cover threat. And then just moves to Queens. Rhino then draws a 1 and a BAM card. So Iron Man is unfortunately taking some damage. And then he's just going to place 3 thugs. So I've placed the 3 thugs, as you can see. Then Rhino just moves and he's going to do 1 damage onto Iron Man. So Iron Man has to play his card face down. So it doesn't matter. It is this card though. The Stark Resources one, because I feel as though it's the best one to get rid of for now. But he does get to use Punisher's double punch action. At least he has no crisis anymore. So all Tony Stark does is he uses his double punch to get rid of 2 thugs. So Spider-Man, who's up last, well, he's kind of on his own, can't use another card. So he's just going for a double punch action. So all Spider-Man does, of course, is double punch a couple of thugs and sort of clears up that location. Does mean we only have 3 thugs left to punch before we clear that threat though. Punisher is up next anyway, and Punisher uses a double wild card. So for his double wild, he is going to use 2 heroics down here in open field, and then he gets the double punch as Spider-Man, so just gets rid of 2 thugs. Only 1 left now on the threat. So it's on to Rhino's turn, and he's going to move 4 and BAM, which isn't going to hurt any of the heroes, but he is going to place 3 thugs. So Rhino, I've already placed the thugs in his locations. This one is very close to overflow, but he does just move 4 and his BAM hits no one. I'm getting pretty lucky with that, it seems. Iron Man is up anyway, and he just plays a move card, but he will also get access to Punisher's double wild. So Iron Man, well, he moves to Queens, because I forgot about the end of turn location and should have moved him last turn, but I completely forgot. So because I forgot, no point in doing anything with it then. But he is going to use a heroic here to clear this threat, and then he could defeat the thug, but that's going to end up making a bit of a menace, isn't it, really? So he's just going to save a civilian. But he has only got 2 cards in his hand, so he can draw 1 card. So Iron Man does get a health back. Very useful there. Spider-Man obviously gets Iron Man's move, and then he's going to use a double heroic, which unfortunately he hasn't got many good cards in his hand. So yeah, I'm kind of being forced to use this one at this stage. So Spider-Man obviously just moves and then uses the double heroic on that threat there. Punisher then uses his special ops training, so he can move to any location and double punch there, and he of course has a move token for the next person, and can also use the double heroic of Spider-Man. So what Punisher does is he moves to Brooklyn Bridge, and then double punches these thugs. He's then going to use the move on his card to go to there. He is going to clear that threat and save a civilian. So now we have cleared all the threats and we have defeated all the thugs, and so Rhino can start taking damage. As an end of turn effect, we can discard one thug from any location also, so we're just going to move this one from Midtown High. Rhino draws a 2 move, bam, and then place 3 civilians. So again, we've got lucky. So I've placed the civilians, then Rhino is going to move 2. And then he's going to bam, but obviously there is no one there. So, yeah. So Iron Man is up, and he is going to use Punisher's move, and then a double punch. So Iron Man obviously just moves to the shield helicarrier, and then double punches Rhino, leaving him on 6 health. Spider-Man is then up, and he's going to use a double wild, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to get to Rhino, and so then he's going to double punch. So basically, Spider-Man uses 2 move actions for his wilds, and then he double punches Rhino, leaving him on 4 health. Rhino gets a 1 and a bam, so again, he hasn't hit anyone. We've got so lucky in this game. So lucky. But he does place 3 civilians. So I've placed the civilians, and Central Park is now full, but it didn't overflow. And Rhino just moves there. Unfortunately for us, Punisher's best card is only really 1 punch. He's got 2 of those in his hand, along with 2 heroics, which have just got 1 on. So a bit lacking on terms of Punisher, but he is just going to move with a wild and then double punch, obviously. So yeah, Punisher moves and double punches Rhino, leaving him on 2 health. Leaving Iron Man to once again finish it off, because he's got a move and a punch, along with Punisher's punch. So Iron Man, of course, moves in and then double punches Rhino, knocking him out and winning us the game. So yeah, that seemed a little bit easier, and I just wanted to take a look at Rhino's cards that were coming up. So 5, we know bam. There's the Rhino charge. That would have been nasty. He's then got another Rhino charge, a 3 and a bam, a 0, and then Rhino charge and Rhino charge. So I got extremely lucky, really. Did get extremely lucky on the shuffle there. But that's it for that one. Next we'll be taking on Chapter 3 with Captain America and Spider-Woman going off to face Sandman. So look forward to that one coming up very soon. And let's get on with the plot. Rhino's beat. Out of breath, lying face up on the asphalt. We'll make sure you're given a nice big pasture to graze on when you get back to the raft, Spider-Man teases. Not so fast. I'm taking him with me. Such a fine specimen would make an excellent addition to my personal collection. A man in a leopard print costume with a pointy spear jumps in front of you, whips out a smoke bomb, then disappears with the Rhino as well. What do we do? Do we go after him? Spider-Man questions. I don't think Rhino and Jungle Boy are the real threat here. Let's see if Fury has more information on what Electro is up to.